What's up, Thrashers, and welcome back once again to the Thrash Maniac 99 YouTube channel, and I am here with my first CD collection update video of 2022. I was meaning to do this video a couple of days ago, but I got sidetracked with a bunch of stuff. But I am here to show off everything I've gotten since the last update, which was New Year's Eve. And I'm actually, as of recording this, I'm actually working on my next stack, which is going to be big by the time the month ends. So, well, anyways, we're going to go through every one of these albums I got. Some I bought, some were gifts to me from friends. And I'll talk about them when we get to them. But to kick things off, we've got Annihilator, Alison Hell. I mean, this is a classic thrash album from 1989, and it's the first album from Annihilator. Jeff Waters showing that he's one of the most underrated guitarists in all of metal. Like, that guy can write riffs, he can shred, he can write prog stuff, some wonderful melodic leads, or melodic lines. I mean, songs like Alison Hell, Welcome to Your Death, Wicked Mystic, Schizos, Human Insecticide. This is just an amazing album. It's like this and Never Never Land are like the benchmark albums for Annihilator, and I believe they got a new album coming out here in a couple of months, maybe even sooner than that, but I'm not too thrilled with the singer of choice, Stu Block, just because I really just don't like his attitude as of late, but that's just me. But anyway, so yeah, Alison Hell by Annihilator, first one I got. Next up, we got one that from a musician slash project I've been wanting to get some stuff from, but I've just been slacking on it. And that's Brendan Small, and I got Galacticon 2 Becoming the Storm. So yeah, after the whole Metalocalypse debacle that happened, Brendan Small decided to use his side project, Galacticon, as a way to make new Deathclock. Because this album almost sounds like essentially another Deathclock album, but with more clean vocals and more of that prog vibe that you got from the first Galacticon album. But yeah, the song The Ocean Galactic has been stuck in my head for a while. And then, of course, the one song most people know from this is My Name is Murder, because it was used in Bat Metal 3, that video. But yeah, this is some actually really good proggy melodic death metal right here. And like I said, Brendan Small, I think, is one of the most underrated musicians in all of metal. He's a phenomenal guitarist and a damn good vocalist, both on the growls, screams, and the clean vocals. So yeah, Galacticon 2. Next up, to kind of add on to my Dark Throne collection, I got one of their more underrated offerings, and that's Ravishing Grimness. I know my buddy Necrotic Nick from the Thralls of Metal was happy to hear that I got this and saw it in a stream. But yeah, he's right. This is a fantastic Dark Throne album. Songs like Lifeless, The Claws of Time, the title track, Across the Vacuum, and I love how To the Death Under the King starts with that kind of thrashy punk vibe. So yeah, I was really happy to get this one. And also, look at that album cover. That's some pretty cool stuff right there, even though this is the reissue cover, not the original cover. I think I like the Peaceville reissues of their album covers a lot more than the original. But yeah, this is some fantastic stuff here. Next up, you guys know that I love my Martin Van Drunen and my death metal, and I decided to get the first album from his project, his old project, Hail of Bullets, of Frost and War. Basically a concept album all about World War II, and it's fucking grim, it's dark, it's heavy, it's brutal, especially the song Ordered Eastward. Also featuring Dan Swano on guest vocals, which I love anything Dan Swano does as far as music goes, so it's really cool. Also songs like General Winter, Red Wolves of Stalin, Stalingrad. Just, yeah, this is a very underrated album. For those who are not familiar with Hail of Bullets, definitely give this a listen. It kind of sounds like classic Swedish death metal a little bit because it has that HM2 tone. To me, this sounds like if Entombed and Bolt Thrower made an album together. And this is what the result would be. Next up, speaking of going back to Dark Throne, an Evil album, one of the most evil-sounding death metal albums of all time from 1998, Incantation, Diabolical Conquest. I really, really like this album. The song Impending Diabolical Conquest, United in Repugnance on Heavenly Skies, and even the big 17-minute ending of Unto Infinite Twilight, Majesty of Infernal Damnation. I mean, yeah, probably the best Incantation album. Kind of neck and neck with Onward to Golgotha, in my opinion. But yeah, this is something else right here. For those who are unaware of Incantation, give this album, as well as Onward to Golgotha, a listen, and you will thank me. Next up, we got, to complete the early Monstrosity collection, or a.k.a. the Corpse Grinder era, I got Millennium, the second album and the last one to have Corpse Grinder, who would go on to eventually front Cannibal Corpse. So now I have both of the Corpse Grinder era Monstrosity albums, Imperial Doom and Millennium, and they're both underrated gems in Florida death metal history because people tend to kind of overlook Monstrosity because Monstrosity is just kind of known at this point as like the quote breeding ground band for Cannibal Corpse or other bands because, you know, Corpse Grinder went to Cannibal Corpse, Pat O'Brien was in Monstrosity for a little bit, he wound up in Cannibal Corpse. Yeah. But this is some really, really solid death metal. Songs like Slaves and Masters, Fatal Millennium, Dream Messiah. Yeah, this is some really, really good stuff. Now, these next three are ones that I got gifted to me by my good buddy, co-host of the Shadow Cult podcast and fellow metalhead, basically like my metal uncle or dad or what have you, Mr. Scott, or It's Mr. Scott. And he sent me 3 Pink Floyd albums. First, we got Umaguma, their, I think it was 1969, weird avant-garde album. Like, disc 1 was like a live thing, and then disc 2 was like multiple part tracks that were written individually by Richard Wright, Roger Waters, David Gilmour, and Nick Mason. Yeah, this is a bizarre double album, to say the very least. But then again, psychedelic rock in general during the mid to late 60s period was very, very bizarre. Here, this is more avant-garde, prog, psych rock, but it's masterful in its own right. Next up, we got from 1971, the album Metal. Mainly the one song that most people know this album for is Echoes, because it's a 23.5-minute journey of a song. And even though I don't smoke weed, I guess if you're into that, this would be a good album to play along to getting stoned, especially on Echoes, because it would feel like you're going through some kind of weird, trippy journey that makes it feel like you're in like a fantasy world or something. And then, of course, the third Pink Floyd one I got, and it's one of the classics, The Wall. Do I really need to say anything else about this album, other than that it's a classic of the late 70s, songs like Another Brick in the Wall, 3 parts, but especially Comfortably Numb, with one of the greatest guitar solos of all time. So yeah, Pink Floyd, The Wall. Next up, this is actually one I got yesterday, one of 2 that I got yesterday, and this is an album I've been wanting in my collection for a long time. Razor, Evil Invaders. Early on, they were more speed metal oriented, kind of like Exciter, their peers from the Canadian scene. But here is when they kind of melded their speed metal style with more of a thrash metal bite, and this is more thrash than speed metal. Kind of like Canadian Slayer is what I would call this album. And then everything going forward after that, like Malicious Intent, Violent Restitution, Shotgun Justice, they're much more thrashy and a little more brutal sounding. But this is a great foundation album, and it's my personal favorite Razor album. So yeah, Evil Invaders. Next up, I got this one. I'm not sure if I showed this off in the last update, same with Ravishing Grimness, but in case I didn't, I'm going to highlight it again, or first time, Sarcophagus Rotting. their first EP, even though, to me, this should be considered a full length, considering it's longer than their debut album, INRI, and that was like 12 songs, and this is like about 5 minutes longer, and it's only 6 tracks. I think this should be considered their second full-length album, but whatever. Songs like Tracy, the title track, a great party song with sex, drinks, and metal, and then their re-recording of Nightmare, which I prefer this version over INRI, because it's more doom-laden, more evil-sounding, and all-around heavier, and a little more epic as well. But yeah, Sarcophagus. Now we get into the next 7, and these are all going to be from Testament, because I decided I need to finally kind of complete my Testament collection, because I felt ashamed that I didn't have some of these albums in my collection already. But starting things off with Souls of Black, which is, yeah, this is like the one Testament album that's like mixed feeling, like nobody thinks it's bad. It's just like you got people who think this is amazing or this is okay. I think it's a decent album. I don't think it's incredible by any stretch of the imagination. But songs like the title track, The Legacy, which is one of my favorite ballads of all time. But yeah, there's some other underrated gems on here too, like Malpractice, One Man's Fate, 7 Days of May. Yeah, this is a bit underrated, but I personally think it's just a decent album. I don't think it's brilliant, nor do I think it's okay. I think it's a decent album. That's just me. Moving on to the next one, and that is from 1994, Low. This was when you had James Murphy and John Tempesta join the band, and they kind of went into a little bit more of a groove metal sound, but they did it really well, and it was very heavy and brutal sounding. Tracks like the title track Low, Shades of War, All I Could Bleed, Dog-Faced Gods, and even the song Trail of Tears. I feel like that could have been on The Ritual, and it would have been a perfect song on The Ritual. But yeah, this is maybe my second to last album. If I were to do a Testament ranking, this would probably be towards the bottom, but it's still a really, really good album. It's just, I just prefer other ones more than this. Next up, and this also came yesterday along with Razor, and that is their return to their thrash roots with The Gathering. And I got the Nuclear Blast 2018 reissue. Also, the album cover of the reissue is a lot cooler, and plus they added the bonus track, Hammer of the Gods. But yeah, what a hell of a lineup. Chuck Billy and Eric Peterson remain here. But you got Steve DiGiorgio, James Murphy back, and Dave Lombardo. And this is a great album. Moments of death metal in here too. Songs like DNR, 3 Days in Darkness, Ride the Snake, Fall of Sippeldome, Legions of the Dead. Wow, this is some really good shit. Then I got one of my personal favorites from Testament, and it's their real comeback album in 2008, The Formation of Damnation. And this is one of my personal favorite Testament albums. This would probably rank top 5 if I were to do the ranking video. I'm thinking Testament's going to be the next band I'm going to do a ranking video for, which probably will be out this month. I'm not sure when exactly, but it'll happen. But yeah, songs like More Than Meets the Eye, the title track, Dangers of the Faithless, Henchman Ride, Killing Season, Afterlife. Just every song on here is amazing. Nothing more, nothing less to be said about the Formation of Damnation. Next up, I already had this album in my collection, but I bought this version because it has the bonus cover songs and the DVD documentary and music videos and stuff. And that's Dark Roots of Earth, which was my personal favorite album, at least at the time of 2012. I don't know about now. It'd probably still be really close and high up there. But I mean, songs like Native Blood, the title track, True American Hate, Cold Embrace, Last Stand for Independence. Like, this is definitely one of the darker Testament albums, but I absolutely love it. And then, of course, those cover songs of Dragon Attack by Queen, Scorpions Animal Magnetism, and Iron Maiden Power Slave. Really, really phenomenal album. This would be near top 5, probably top 5. I don't know. When I get to that ranking video, I don't know how it's going to look. Next up, we got from 2016, which was one of my favorites from 2016, and that's Brotherhood of the Snake. I mean, the songs like the title track, Seven Seals, Born in a Rut, Centuries of Suffering, pretty much all these songs, for the most part, I absolutely love, and it's one of the faster Testament albums, especially in the second half, from Centuries of Suffering through the Number Game. Like, most of those songs are like fast rippers. So yeah, really, really amazing album right here, and also a really cool album cover. And then we get their latest one from 2020, Titans of Creation. Now, at first I didn't know what to make of this album, because I gave it a listen, like I listened to half of it during my vacation a year and a half ago to South Dakota. I wasn't too sold on it, but now I appreciate it a lot more, especially songs like Children of the Next Level, Night of the Witch, Curse of Osiris is one of their fastest songs, and I really, really love it. And another cool album cover. So yeah, I've basically got every Testament album except for Demonic, and I don't think I ever plan on getting Demonic in my collection unless I don't know. I'm probably never going to get Demonic because that's a bit of a turd in my mind. But yeah, Titans of Creation. And then the final album in my collection update, one that I've been wanting to get for a long time but just kept slacking on it, Venom Black Metal. What else can I say about this album that hasn't been said already in the past? One of the pioneer albums of not just black metal, but even for death metal, thrash, speed metal. I mean, this is basically a speed metal album that's like proto-black metal or first wave black metal that kind of planted the seeds for what was to come eventually, like Bathory and stuff. But yeah, songs like the title track, Buried Alive, Raised the Dead, Teacher's Pet, which is probably the best teacher sex song of all time, Don't Burn the Witch, Countess Bathory. Yeah, can't go wrong with this. But anyways, that does it for the collection update, the first one of 2022, and like I said, I'm actually already working on a new stack because I got some stuff coming in the next few days and such. But I'm going to wait until the end of the month to do the next update because I'm also going to be going to Tennessee here in a couple of weeks and definitely going to raid a record store and see what I can get my hands on, which will probably be a lot depending on what all they have this time around. But anyways, out of all these albums, which ones are your favorites? Let me know in the comments below. And until next time, horns high, and I will see you soon. Trouble the Skull. 1985, this is Trouble's sophomore effort, and this is the Hammerhard Records reissue that came out last year. This is amazing doom metal that has a lot of Christian lyrics, but it's Christian lyrics done right. It's mostly the somber, dark stories about Christianity. And, I mean, even inside the case, it says a verse. Let all bitterness and wrath and anger and clamor and slander be put away from you with all malice, and be kind to one another, tender-hearted, forgiving one another, as God in Christ forgave you.